So welcome back. As a longtime Baratheon player, I feel pretty confident going through these changes for season 7 with you. And let's just dive right in here. So hit the Baratheon Halberdiers first. They did change in their profile. They have they're hitting on 3s now instead of 4s, which is nice. They added advanced align to these guys, and basically it gives them, it's an order that gives them a potential 2-inch shift forward. And remember, they can target themselves with that, so that helps negate that 4-inch movement. And everything else is pretty much the same on those guys. I love that unit, love the look of them. I run them pretty regularly. The Rainbow Guard is up next. I don't think I've ever run the Rainbow Guard because I don't like the tactics cards that this goes with this unit. Basically, it's for Renly. You throw him in there, and he's got all his bros with him. But like I will say though, the unit itself is pretty awesome. Like 7/7 hitting on 2s, defending on 3. You only got 8 wounds, but that's okay. Oh, each model in this unit has 2 wounds.
Oh, that's different.
Each model in this unit has 2 wounds. So that means you have 8 models in the unit. That's 16 wounds.
Oh, my goodness. Plus the banners.
You get the Baratheon banners, which gives you some extra buffs when you pull them off during the game. And Rally Cry, which is when you do a melee attack, you can target someone at long range and restore 2 wounds on them. Oh my goodness, this thing is an absolute Death Star in the making. But like I said, I don't like his tactics cards that go with this commander version of him. But that aside, this unit has potential to be an absolute 6 points too. Wow, holy shnikes. This thing is going to be a wrecking ball in the field. Wow. Thornwatch. This is the Renly side of things. High guard and crossbow is now long range. Hitting on 3s it always was. They took away the retreat where they could heal up, and it's replaced it with Overwatch, which is also pretty good. Basically, if someone ends a march or a maneuver in long range of you, you can pop the order and do a free range attack, and they have hitting on 3, 7, 7, 4 with precision and sundering on them. That's pretty good. These guys are going to be one you want to kind of avoid, I think, if you're the enemy. Skirmisher, which is a keyword added this season 7, which means if you are unengaged, you get a free pivot when you activate the unit, which is great for putting these guys in position to get those range attacks off when you want them. Awesome. Yeah. But they were increased to 7 points. So yeah, but you're getting an awful lot here. I think this change is definitely a buff for these guys from what it was in the past. Riders of High Guard, and this is a unit I think is a shit unit. I never run them, almost never. They're glass cannon. So again, but 6 movement's good for them. So the 5/4 hitting on 3s now. They used to hit on 4s, but you had a way to drive that down to 3 if you met certain conditions. But now they put the 3 on there, embedded in there. The 5 armor save is tough for these guys. They just don't last that long. If they get locked up into combat, they melt away like just ice, man. So Swift Retreat was added to them, I guess, to help keep them not getting ground up and not getting prolonged into a grindy kind of a situation. Cavalry operates the same, Lance with the sundering, and of course Lance works the same as it did in previous seasons. So Swift Retreat was a big change there. I think it might help keep them around a little bit longer on the battlefield. And one of my favorite units as primarily a Stannis player, oh my gosh, they've changed the R'hllor Lightbringers. I'm afraid to look at this one, but here we go. So they did up the 2nd rank attack to 7 dice, still hitting on 3s. Everything else, so vicious, they still have vicious. But if they defend their panic test when you hit them, they suffer +1 wound for each enemy R'hllor unit in long range. That probably won't go off that often. But if this attack destroys the defender before they are removed, target all enemies in long range to become vulnerable. That might go off sometimes. And then after completing this attack, you may target 1. This is the big one. It's like Rally Cry. After completing this attack, you may target 1 friendly R'hllor unit, gotta be R'hllor, in long range. They restore 2 wounds. That's good. Very different. So in the old version, you hit with these guys, and if the thing you hit fails a panic check, some other enemy unit in short range of that unit also takes a panic check. So you had an opportunity for cascading panic. That's been reworked. Now you just give yourself 2 wounds, which honestly means now, because remember, I used to put Davos in this tray to give me the supply aid, because they're already kind of doing it. I don't have to do that anymore. And so that means I might run the Davos NCU a little bit more than normal. And they're still 6 points, so that's good. And the R'hllor Faithful, which is a staple for me. I love these guys. Hitting on 3s. I used to be hitting on 4s, but you could buff that down. You had ways to do it to get it down to 3. Everything else is pretty the same. So Faithful has been reworked. Now you can only keep a max of 3 faith tokens at any one time. In the old days, prior to this patch, I could just ching my way to sometimes I had 6 or 7 faith tokens on them, depending on what would happen during the game. That's no more. They still get it when they pass a morale test, and they also get it if an enemy in long range is destroyed. So that's helpful, I suppose. The Vicious is baked into them. They always have that. One of the few Baratheon ones that have Vicious embedded in there. Before attack dice, expend 1 faith token. So you can target the defender. They become panicked and vulnerable. So you can throw out some panicked and vulnerables with spending it. You can also spend a faith token to reroll your attack dice. When you complete the attack, you spend a faith token to restore 2 wounds plus 1 wound for each of the destroyed ranks. This will help keep them around because that 5 armor save is always difficult for them. But in order for this to go off, they've got to be locked up into combat. And sometimes, so you want to keep these guys away from ranged, because ranged will tear these guys before they ever get up there. I gotta think about that some more for later. Stag Knights. Oh boy, they have finally got it back. It used to always be this 777. Then the last season 6, they changed it to something like 754, 765. Well, guess what? Now it is back to what it should be. 4 and 5 still the same. That might have dropped. I think it might have been 6. I'm not sure. I have to go look it up. Anyways, nothing major there. Stag's Fury has been reworked. It's now instead of the buff you get being contingent on the round that you're in, that has been changed. Now it's just as the rounds stack up, you can pick from this menu of things to put on the unit, which gives them a lot more versatility and a lot more potential damage they can put out. Down here, they replaced resilience, which was a great keyword for them to keep these guys around to the end of the game. Now they have beginning on Stag's Metal, beginning on game round 4, they can gain +1 to defense dice rolls and +1 to morale test rolls. So now they drive to a 3 defense and a 4 morale. Helpful, but I feel that by round 4, they potentially could be off the board, depending on what happens. So you might not get a chance to really take advantage of that as often as you think you might. Okay, well, that's that. There's still 7 points. And then we're going down to the Champions of the Stag. Finally, these guys have a major work that might make them playable for 8 points. They're still ultra expensive at 8, but you get a lot of stuff here. A couple things. They now have throwing 5 dice on their last rank. These things, I think this was changed. The morale went down to 5, I think, in this time. I think it was 6 last time. And cavalry still works the same. They have critical blow. They always had that. But before attack dice, yeah, well, if they're engaged, you can put a vulnerable token on them. But now this has been added right down here. Take a look. And this attack rolls +2 attack dice. Ooh la la. That means you're pumping out when you attack them. You're throwing on full ranks. If you're locked up with them already when you attack, if you began the turn engaged with them, you're throwing 6 dice and plus you're throwing 8 dice, or you're throwing 7 dice with critical blow. That's pretty good. And then we have down here Punish Cowardice is new for them. So if someone retreats off of these guys, you can target them and they become vulnerable and weakened. Interesting. Have to see how that plays out. And I assume that most enemies would want to retreat off these guys because they're such a grindy kind of thing. These guys want to lock up with you on horseback and keep you there and just start pounding the crap out of you. So with a 2 armor save and a 5 morale, they're going to stick around too. That is something. I may have to run some of these guys. I have 3 of them. I have 3 trays of them here in the house. I only have 1 painted. I may consider painting up the other 2 and running 3 of these guys to see what happens. All right, so up next we have the Baratheon Wardens, one of my favorite units of all time in this. It comes in the starter box. Unfortunately, they really, even at 5 points, they just weren't that playable, man. Their attack profile is still the same. However, they have added hold the line to them. And this means when you activate them, if you were already engaged, you can pop this order. You can push out 2 hits plus 1 hit for each of your remaining ranks. And you should have these guys up with ranks because they have a really good defensive save. Nice. And then, of course, you roll your attack dice and hope you get some more hits generated that way. So generating extra hits with Hold the Line. They reworked Warhammer. So now when you complete the attack, the defender becomes weakened. In the other previous versions, you had to hope that they rolled a 1 on their defensive dice to drop the weakened, which almost never happened because you weren't throwing enough dice to begin with these guys. But now it just does happen. And Counter-Strike was always there. So with the Warhammer rework, adding Hold the Line, which in order to get Hold the Line before, you had to have an attachment on that gave it to you. Now it's just there for free. I think you're going to see a lot more Wardens out there. They're coming. I might see a list with 2 Wardens. I don't know. We'll see. Still 5 points. Sentinels. What's been changed on these guys? Let's see. Looks about the same to me. Sentinel, double. Oh, Go Down Fighting was added. So they basically they're the same as they were before for 5 points. That hasn't changed. But Go Down Fighting has been added. So basically each time a rank is destroyed, the enemy suffers 1 wound, making it a little more grindy. It's okay. It helps a little bit. I think I might play the Wardens now over the Sentinels. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. Go up here now. This is the one that hurts the most. Melisandre. God, they had... Oh, gosh. I can't believe you guys did this to me. So, in the old days, she was like your artillery piece. She was like this incredible this incredible bomb you could go and just run like a cannon. Basically, for those that are new, in the old days... You simply, you put her down. She won the tactic zone. You put her card down on somebody, influence one of your guys. You could take a panic test. You took 2 models off. Then you did a panic test. And then you could, once all that was done, you could go ahead and target an enemy unit in long range and line of sight. And they would do a panic test at -2 plus 2 wounds on failure. So it was a little bit of a gamble, but there were ways to get some panic tokens out there on the you're going to target to try to increase your odds a little bit. And when it went off, boy, it went off pretty big. It was one of those home run kind of hitters. She's still 5 points, but now she's been totally reworked, and this is just sad, really, honestly. So now she can. So when you still have to influence a unit with her, you get one of these things for free, and you can suffer up to 2 wounds to get 2 additional things for each wound that you suffer. So. Some of these +2 morale test rolls, that's always useful. That's always a good thing. Gaining vicious, okay, I suppose. A melee attack, the defender becomes vulnerable. I guess it's helpful. So it activates, and if the activates, enemies in short range become panicked. So again, there's a lot of choices there and a lot of utility. I don't see myself running her at 5 points for this. I think I'm going to run Crescent instead. My days of the Melisandre Panic Bomb are over. Season 7. Oh, this alone causes me to... I'm angry about this one. Anyways, moving over to Shira. Here's another one I'm angry about. She was great in the old version. She was that way for a long time too. I think she was that way since 2021, almost unchanged. You put her on the crowns. She restore a wound to a unit. You threw her on the letters, and she could do the thing with the letters. Then she could flip a token back from you onto your opponent. So just nice little things you could do in addition to what you were doing in the tactic zone. And then of course, if you took the bags, I think if you could remove. She has synergy with the bags too, and some token manipulation in addition to getting the zone's effect, which was nice. Now, once per round, if she claims a zone and an enemy targets one of your engaged combat with an NCU ability. Okay, we're already right there. We got 3 things that have to happen. Or tactics card. After resolving that effect, you may target any enemies engaged with that unit. They become vulnerable and suffer 1 hit for each remaining rank in your unit. Okay, so this is really lame. I mean, to be able to push out a vulnerable and a couple, maybe 2 or 3 extra hits on a unit, You got to get all these things to happen. And this is just too many things.
It's only at once per round.
So you got to keep track of it. You put her on the tactics board early, but you don't want to take advantage of her card yet, of her influence ability. So you wait. You might forget to do it. I've had that happen to me, you know. No, I don't think it's a good one. I passed on this one. So these two, season 7, I think you messed up on these two pretty bigly. But Crescent, let's see. Him dropping to 4 points now, he will move ahead of Melisandre, in my opinion. I don't think he's changed it all over here. It's the same stuff. Over here, Smuggler's Cunning has 4 order tokens. I think the last version, he only had 3 order tokens. So he basically allows you to pull an order token to re-roll your charge distance dice, which is great. And he can also, you can remove a token from him to help shut down your opponent's abilities and their ability to use tactics cards on the units you don't want them to use them on. So that's a good way to shut down your opponent, control the battlefield a little bit. He might get some play. I'll see. Eldon, great way to cycle through your cards. So now he gets to replace a zone's effect by just drawing 3 tactics cards, shuffle 1 from your hand into your deck. That's really useful. Anytime you can change a zone's effect is always useful. And then once a game, you can just go to your tactics deck, fish out a card you want, and place it in your hand. I mean, that's great. That's good. So 4 points, that's probably going to be an auto-include in a lot of lists. Marjorie Tyrell, she's also, Elder and Estermont is from the Renly side of things. Marjorie Tyrell, Renly side, and Rosenut's Thorns. So again, you influence her, drop her down. She has changed. She used to be, I think that you were able to push out a vulnerable and restore a wound on a unit or something. Last time I had to go look it up. I don't run Marjorie. I don't run the Renly stuff that much, so I don't know them off the top of my head. Anyway, so what she's doing now is she's influencing a friendly unit. Each time that unit restores wounds, you may target one enemy it is engaged with. That enemy suffers 1 hit for each wound to a maximum of 3. Okay, this is just lame. Because, I mean, like, you restore a wound, and you push out an extra hit. Whoop-de-doo. They're probably going to block it anyways. It does absolutely nothing. In the old card, it synergized with the Rose Knights pretty good, because the Rose Knights had, I think it was Perseverance and Valor, which every time they attacked, they restored a wound. And then she could restore a wound on top of that. These guys could push out 2 wounds with Deadly Bloom before they even roll their attack dice. That's gone. I would have to play to see how it goes. I don't want to comment too hard, do any theory crafting here, but the way it's written now, I don't see myself running her in a Renly list. I don't think she synergizes at all with any of Loris's stuff, and I don't know. So that, folks, is your Baratheons walkthrough for tonight for Season 7. Overall, some really cool upgrades on some of the units, some reworks. Disappointed with Melisandre and Shira, and also Marjorie Tyrell. Those 3 NCUs, I think, have been changed, but for the worse. Still playable. I think still thematic and playable. It's just that I think, were better in their previous season. And that is it. Thanks for sticking with me this long. I will see you soon. Bye.